Alright.
How can you mend this broken man? Anyway, y'all know what happened, man. The AFC Divisional Round, Baltimore went down to the Colts.
Eric Weddle can't tackle.
New Orleans Saints put a mollywhopping on the Cardinals. Dallas took a bad one. Dallas took a bad one from the Vikings. I didn't think Brett Favre was going to get down in that playoff game like he did. I thought he was going to pull some Kobe Bryant type shit and try and really take over the game and not have his teammates help him. But damn it, if that motherfucker didn't do the damn thing, man. Anybody got something to say about his performance?
Hey, man, I love his performance, but I'm going to tell you what everybody's overlooking, truly overlooking.
What's that?
Y'all overlooking Leslie Frazier and the defense. The defense did a hell of a job. This brother had to be doing something because they made fun of him about, who would go to Seattle and go do a job interview when you know you ain't going to get it. Hell, you must know something about him.
Man.
Well, I definitely agree with you looking at, from an inverted on the football side of things. On the popular side of things, Brett Favre had the best game of his career.
Yeah, he did.
You know, he's having the best season of his career. And I'll be the first to say he doing whatever they've been doing to make sure he don't stay injured. But that's my opinion.
Hey,
Brett Favre is doing the damn thing. I just got to give it up to him, but he ain't going to do it this week.
Because,
hypothetically, if they win it and go all the way to the Super Bowl and win it, does he retire?
Hell yeah, he retires.
He retired.
He does it just like you do when you got somebody you was trying to hit. Like, I'm gonna call you. You know, you don't even have my number. I'm gonna find it.
In the words of Mr. Lee Corso, not so fast. I think what's going on, and I'm gonna add my 2 cents on the NFC playoff game. I think that the Vikings, they're a good team. What you're doing is good. But what's happening right now, I think you're leaving out Mr. All Day, Adrian Peterson. And what's going to hurt the Vikings and these teams like it hurt my team, you're eventually going to have to run the ball and show that you got the heart and the grit. And you're going to have to help your defense by using your offense in a smart way. And to quote another great football player, Fran Tarkenton, what he had mentioned, the football guys are going to frown on Brett Favre and what he pulled at the end of that game.
Yeah, I mean, you hear a lot of the cats on different stations talking about, hey, if you didn't want him to do that shit, you should have stopped him. Hey, man, that game was done. It was over. Dallas was playing that shit like, hey, they ain't going to do nothing foul like that. They're going to run it up the middle. You know, you expect them to be like, hey, if we're going to score again, we're going to run the ball. We're going to keep the clock moving. We're going to run the ball. We're going to end this game because we respect this team. We ain't got no beef with this team. But they pulled some more play action shit and threw it, and Brett Favre set a personal record for himself in that playoff game with that touchdown.
So karma means what goes around comes around.
Right.
For the non-football fans like me, what did he do? What was so bad? I know he scored or something, but
put it this way. Go ahead. You want to speak on it?
You're supposed to show some type of respect to your opponent.
Integrity.
If you're playing in a game and it's 4th down, under 2 minutes left, 4th and 3, usually on the 4th down like that, you either punt it, and if you weren't in a situation to punt it, you could kick a field goal. They needed no more points. It was 27-3. The game was wrapped up in hand. They were going to win, so there was no reason to do that.
Big ups to Keith Brookings. I play defense, and I know I'd have been the same way. Motherfucker, y'all gonna get yours. This ain't the last time we gonna see you.
Okay, and what can we expect from the Dallas Cowboys? What we already know is that the owner, Jerry Jones, has the back of Wade Phillips, his coach. Wade will be back next year.
He gave him 3 years.
Yeah, so but on the round table, I like to get everybody's opinion, what they think about the Cowboys in the future.
Well, look, you don't have a first-round pick because you already gave away for Roy Williams.
Right.
So as far as this draft goes, you're looking for, how do I fill holes? Well, your glowing problem is real easy. When you got a lineman that is constantly getting penalized, it's ridiculous. It always starts with interior. When you look at the Jets show you it's interior. Alan Faneca, Nick Mangold, Damon Woody, Jabricka Ferguson. Offensive line.
I would say O-line, and maybe if you can find a receiver, but I think you realize now, Dallas, you don't have to spend big money to find a talented receiver. 2 words, Miles Austin. So, receiver and alignment. Everything else is pretty much intact.
Cowboys in the future, what you think?
Cowboys in the future, I really don't give a fuck.
Right.
You know, That's on a personal note. On a more logical note, the Cowboys, I feel like their owner is too hands-on, and even though they gave my man a 3-year extension, that don't really mean much. I really feel like they are headed down the same path that the Raiders are already down to the bottom of.
Yeah.
And this is basically the beginning of it. I don't see them even making the playoffs next year. The personal reasons is because there's so much, there's so many pieces that they really have to tie in. They were a facade winning team. They were a placebo winning team. I don't really think they really had the true nucleus to be a consistent winning team over the next 3 to 5 years. I don't really see that. You have a strong running game, but their quarterback's not real. Their line may be suspect. They're a little small in areas. They have a great secondary with the corners. That's where, I feel their strengths and weaknesses are.
I think Cowboys in the future are going to be like Cowboys in the present. Let's jump over to the AFC side of things, and let's see what happened this weekend in the playoffs. First game up in the AFC. Yes,
Ravens. Old Baltimore versus New Baltimore.
Right.
And personally,
I was going for Baltimore.
I was going for Baltimore, but it didn't surprise me when the offense didn't show up. That Baltimore offense, I like Ray Rice, you know what I'm saying? But and the other cat,
McGahee. What's McGahee?
Not him.
McClain.
That's the cat I was thinking
Big
of.
man.
I like them two dudes. But here's what I think about when I see the Ravens. I see the same offense with Flacco, who's not a bad quarterback, but I see them same dudes that played Pittsburgh late in the season who dropped wide open touchdowns and was laughing about it, and all that old shit. And I just knew that the coach was going to come out there, ready to light it up. And if that Ravens defense couldn't get on top of them, that's what you was going to get, and that's what they got. They stopped the running game, and it was a done deal. They didn't have enough firepower to even shoot back, even though they ran the ball, and tried to combat it, but it just wasn't there.
Well, my overview of the whole thing with the Ravens is real simple. You know what your glaring weakness is? It's been there for at least 3 or 4 years. Cameron, go up to Ozzie Newsome and tell him, give me a wide receiver.
Playmakers.
Give me a playmaker. Is Anquan Bolden available? Who's available? Find me something. Go get Brandon Marshall. Get me something. Give me something so I can have this boy be able to throw to as a moneymaker. Not heat, but give me something where he can say, Brandon Marshall, thank you, touchdown. Give him something.
What you think about the game overall or whatever?
Well, the overall game, it pretty much, the inexperienced Flacco, lack of playmakers. I mean, it's basically going to reiterate everything that's been said. I like Baltimore. I mean, I feel like they are a few pieces away from being a better team. You definitely going to have to look at eventually replacing Ray Lewis, who definitely played his heart out. He's always going to play his heart out. He's a defensive player, a middle linebacker. But you got to, start getting ready to replace that soon. And at the same time, you got to put some playmakers out there. Hey, Baltimore, the world is promising to them going forward. As far as Indianapolis, they'll be in the Super Bowl. That's all I can say.
And I'll say this just to add to that. I'm kind of in agreement with everybody else. I think that in Flacco, I'll say this because in the past, I was wrong about you in the beginning. So Flacco's a good quarterback. He needs help. That's one part with Baltimore. I think Baltimore running game is solid. I think that losing Ed Reed faster than they lose Ray Lewis, they're going to have to replace Ed Reed as well as, get some pieces here and there. I think the Indianapolis Colts, I think they played masterful. But one thing that I'm seeing, and this is in the NFC and the AFC, I'm seeing these teams really don't have strong running games. Only one team got a strong running game. I'm kind of in favor of the run. I think that Indianapolis is good. Peyton Manning. But if Joseph Adai and this new person they got, if they really can... Donald Butler.
Yeah.
Colts and Jets. Since we're on the AFC, let's stay on the AFC and move to the forward to the present
Championship.
To the championship game. No.
Can we think about one more game?
We skipping a game.
We forgot about
big game, man.
Shit, who was losing that
we need to
game?
talk about what's going on in the future, right?
Nah, man.